Good morning, members. Welcome to the quick webinar. What I wanted to do was just cover the dollar index with you all. It's now Friday, the 17th of August, 7 a.m., and we are going in on a few positions today. So, as I just complete this chart, obviously, I sent the message in the EchoFin app the other day just to bring to everybody's attention the dollar index and what I see. What you can actually see here is I'm actually on the monthly time frame going back to 1986 there. So every candle represents 1 month on this chart. So we're literally covering nearly 20 years worth of price action here. As you can see, we've actually formed a channel, and maybe 2 seconds. We've actually formed a channel on this index we've got a high, a low, another high, another low, and we're almost creating another high across this resistance line where this trend line is right now. So what I expect, and I've been calling this for time and time again, the death of the US dollar. And you can see that the moving averages right now have crossed to the upside, which is why the boost has happened. However, if I zoom this in, you can see that the price broke above the MA. However, we've actually got a formation that actually looks like a head and shoulder formation right there. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So I'm just going to actually draw on another trend line, which is the left shoulder to the right shoulder resistance. You can see that we're at a crucial point right now with the US dollar, hence why we've not executed any trades within this leg right here, because we're waiting to see how the price is going to react in a similar position to this right shoulder. If this is in fact a head and shoulders pattern, what we should see is a nice smooth reversal at this level right now, where we should be seeing a lot of resistance to then take us to the downside. What we could in fact have is we could in fact have a lower high being created right now, because we went high, low, high, low, but we've actually broken this low here to create a new low, so we could potentially now be on another downtrend with a high, a low, a lower high being created before then creating the next lower low, which should take us to complete the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern right now for the US dollar index. As I go on to the daily time frame, this should be a lot clearer in terms of price action. You can see that we had a nice order block here, which then sent the US dollar long. We're coming up and it looks like we're actually running out of steam. You can see that we had a nice little, which looks to be a reversal here. So I do expect that we're going to be touching these moving averages. We're going to at least be targeting 95.65, which is a key level right there. You can see that we actually had a breakout, so I do expect us to retest. Well, we've obviously spiked a previous resistance level. You can see here how we had a lot of indecision and a lot of tests to try and break this 95.50 level as well for the US dollar, which is why if you're going to be taking any XXXUSD pairs, you're going to want to be selling against those pairs. So you're going to want to be buying against those pairs, because the US dollar, for I see for the near future, is going to be going down to at least a 95.58. So this is a nice, good entry point to get your trades into, because anything below 95.5 will show a lot of indecisions, and there's a lot of opportunity to actually get wiped out, because you can see here up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, because we will be re-entering a ranging market before hopefully targeting the 93 key level as well. If I go on to the Aussie chart right now, this should actually become a lot clearer. You can actually see in terms of the daily time frame, this is simply just an opposite of what the Aussie or the XXXUSD pairs are actually doing. So you can see nice leg down, and we've actually reversed over the last few days to bring Aussie a little bit higher. Obviously you guys seen this trade in the full member zone as well, where we said that we were going to be heading down to the 72 region. For the Aussie, what I do see is, you can see here the moving averages are just getting ready to cross over to the upside, and the price is actually sat above the moving average right here. So what I'm hoping for is a little bit more consolidation, a spike back down to the 72.55 level into next week, and then taking us further to the upside. However, if I look on the USD chart right here, I'll just highlight this area. There is actually a gap which needs to be filled. You can see that gap. Might be easy just drawing on a rectangle on this one. So you can see that price gap right there of 72.98. So we're looking at about 73. This is the first target of resistance right there. So we want to be getting entries in anywhere between where we currently are now and that 73 mark if you're on Aussie. Other USD charts will look very similar, so GBP USD going to look very, very similar as well. But within this zone, we're going to hopefully get opportunities while price consolidates before breaking out this range and then targeting back up to these levels right here. And you can see that this level where the moving average sits at, hopefully by the time we get to probably about end of next week, we're going to be back up to this resistance line and this resistance zone, which is that channel zone right there. So if I zoom out on the 4 hourly, you can see there we should be getting to trend line resistance, because we've been falling on this bearish channel for the Aussie dollar. So hopefully it's going to take us back up to this level of the 74, but we should be getting long entries in any point from now into next week, and they should look something like this. So stops just below the, you want stops pretty much just below last week's low, and then taking us up. So nice 2.4 ratio to take us up to this trend line resistance right there. I'm going to leave this chart on right now. I'll actually take a screenshot of this as well, and hopefully next week we can actually look at what happened in the future as well. So thank you very much for your time. Hope this makes a lot of sense to you all. In terms of cryptocurrencies, we are looking at exactly the same thing. You can see here we're being wedging right now. We basically, if I zoom this out on the daily, and this is my Ripple chart by the way, if I zoom this out on the daily, you can see first spike, another region. We actually got, this is where we got those longs in before, but we failed to break above 10,000 on Bitcoin, which is why price has been sent back down. However, if you look at this bottom trend line that I'm waving around right now, if we take this to the wicks, so from that yellow circle right here, price has been respecting this new trend line support, and we've actually had a confirmed reversal pattern right there with this doji candlestick. So you can see there we are now bullish in the short term. First target $34, next target $40 at this trend line resistance right there. Longs are in play. We'll probably see some noise around this region, probably spike us back down, but we should be locking in entries anywhere within this zone as well. Right, thank you all very much for your time. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you all soon.